Good afternoon. Happy, what is it, Tuesday? Feels like it's supposed to be not Tuesday. It feels like it's supposed to be, I don't know, like Wednesday or something like that. Maybe that's because one of my music students switched days, and so I'm thinking that they're normally on Wednesdays when really now they're on Tuesdays. I don't know, something like that. But I just wanted to pop in here and say good afternoon. I hope you are well. And I'm just popping in a few minutes early. I know I am normally a little bit later than this on Tuesdays, but I thought I would pop in here now. So I guess I'll wait 1 second or so for people to pop in here in case they normally are waiting for me at 3:30, and hopefully they can get the notification from Facebook. But you know how Facebook is. Facebook is notorious for not saying that you are live until way later. So speaking of which, that would make it easier if you want to subscribe to me on YouTube. I actually do post regularly on YouTube, and you can get notifications a lot more reliably on YouTube than on Facebook. So if you are interested in getting notifications from when I go live, you should subscribe on YouTube, and then you are way more likely to get the notifications. All right, sound good? But I thought I'd just let you know that in case you didn't know that, so that you can reliably get the information and catch me live. All right, so I'm going to get into our topic for today. Our topic for today is how to budget for natural and organic food. A while back, I asked my community, I said, hey, what would make it easier for you to eat well, right? What are some of the barriers to eating well for you? And a lot of them said either not knowing how to budget for organic and natural food, or the fact that the expense can sometimes hold them back from eating that way. And so I wanted to share with you a couple hacks, a couple how-tos that I have made it so much easier for our budget and really made it possible for us to be able to eat this way. When normally people would think, wow, you eat that way for that amount of money? And obviously different places in the country cost different, right? So not necessarily needing to explain how much we spend on groceries, because it might be different for your area based on the grocery stores that you have available. But I do want to share some tips and tricks because they've really helped me with our meal planning and budgeting. So step one, buy in bulk. Now, it depends on what it is, right? And not everything is easy to buy in bulk, but so many things can be bought in bulk. So if you think about it, lots of different options, and you can look for those sales, because a lot of the places that I go to have sales, and then you can buy things on sale in a little more bulk and either freeze them or throw them in your pantry or your cabinets, right? And a lot of those things don't go bad. So the things I'm thinking of are like organic flour, right? Or things that you can put in the freezer, certain organic meats, or things, even berries. If, berries go on sale in the nice time of the year, like strawberries or raspberries or something really tasty, go on sale during the season, then I'll process those berries and throw them in the freezer because they're so much cheaper than buying frozen berries. And then not only are they tastier, but I know that they are a lot cheaper and healthier than the other options, right? So that's one hack, buy in bulk. And actually, my next one kind of goes along with buying in bulk, and that is to cut out the middleman. Now, here's what I mean by that. So cutting out the middleman means buying directly from the farmer. And some people would automatically think that means you have to go to the farmer's market. That's actually not true. So there's a lot of different ways to cut out the middleman and buy directly from your farmer, but here's a couple of them. So I live in Minnesota, and there's this really awesome group on Facebook called Farm Direct Minnesota. If you're not a part of a group like that, or if you live in Minnesota and you're not part of this group, you definitely should join, because it's a group all about the goal of sharing, farmers directly sharing what they have for sale, and customers, going directly to the farmer to be able to buy from them instead of having to buy at a store or buy at a farmer's market or something like that. And the reason why it's better, not that farmers markets are bad at all, because they're not. My family sells at a farmer's market. It's a great place, especially if you don't want to be driving around or you want to be able to get everything all at one place. They're wonderful. But as far as budgeting goes, it can sometimes be better to go to a farmer that isn't selling at a farmer's market. And here's why. When the farmer's sitting at the farmer's market, they're spending a lot of time sitting at the market, right? So they really have to make up that amount of time. They have to pay themselves something for that time. A lot of farmers don't factor that into their costs, but some do. And so that means that they're paying for their time to sit at the market, plus the cost of what the product normally costs. So then it's going to be a little bit more expensive even sometimes at a farmer's market than if you were just able to find a farmer who grows naturally, who grows organically, who grows under the practices that you would like to eat, and then buy from them that way. And actually, I found that to be true for meat in particular. So, for example, if I have a small chest freezer, and this goes along with buying a bulk piece, you can buy a quarter of a beef, a quarter cow, and you can get all of it at once, which I know costs some more upfront, but the cost per pound is so much better. And you can shop around. So you can look and see what types of meat the people have. You can see how they're growing it, how they're raising it, what they're feeding it. And you can ask all those questions so that you know what you're eating rather than just not knowing for sure. Or getting something from the store because if you buy organic from the store, I mean, even at Aldi, I know our local Aldi sells organic beef for, I think, a little over $5 a pound. And I just happened to buy some organic meat for $4 a pound from a local farmer that I know. So that's just a small example of a way that you can cut out the middleman, but it really saves a lot in the long run because that's $1 a pound, right? And not every farmer is going to have their own prices, right? So in different places in the country cost different. So shop around, see what works for you. It might take a little bit more time, but if you're wanting to shop on that budget, it's worth it to learn about it and to find someone that you really trust. And then you can go with that person, hopefully ever after, or at least until you decide that you want to try something else, right? So that's number 2 is cut out the middleman. And our number 3 is to shop the outsides of the store. Shop the outside aisles or the edges of the store. And here's what I mean by that. So a lot of people think that eating organically or eating naturally is difficult because it costs a lot. When in reality, at least in my experience, it doesn't cost that much more unless you are buying processed foods. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're trying to buy an organic meal at a grocery store that's already prepared. That's going to cost a lot more than if you were to buy the ingredients for that item. And if you bought most of them or all of them organically, and then were able to add that and make that food separately yourself. So in general, I mean, this is across the board anyway, buying like a frozen dinner or something that is already put together is, even if it's not natural and organic, is going to cost you a lot more than putting the ingredients together yourself. So I found that I've done a cost comparison, and I found that even buying natural and organic, mostly ingredients, not even every single ingredient, is able to be different, or is able to be costing that much, right? So if I'm able to buy that natural and organic, most ingredients, and put it together myself, it does cost a lot less in my experience based on my budgeting and my calculations than it is to buy a put together meal, that's something that's already been thrown together, like say a frozen fried rice or something like that, right? The cost per ounce or per pound for that is going to be a lot more for the already processed item than it is if I just made it at home. Plus the health benefits for making it at home are a lot better too. So with that being said, I know that not everybody loves cooking or baking all the time, but there's a lot of really easy ways to do that as well. And I actually talk about making it easier for yourself in Abundant Life Community. So I linked the Abundant Life Community up in the comment or the description of this video. So if you are interested in tips for making meal planning easier, for easy recipes, for various items and recipes that are really healthy for you, you can check that out, and we'd be love to join you or have you join us in this endeavor to eat better and do it within a budget, because that's what my family and I do. We do it within a budget, and we only have X amount of dollars per month, and we make it work, right? And that's not to say that we don't sometimes make choices to buy something for ease or convenience, because we do, but all those little changes make a difference. It all adds up. So even small steps in the right direction as far as making those changes can make a big difference. So I see a couple comments. I'm gonna pop in and see what we have people saying here. Tiffany says, love farmers markets, but you're right. That's a lot of time to sit around. Farmers are busy and have tons of work to do. And farmers markets usually charge a space fee too, and that can be hundreds of dollars just for one day. Yep, you got it. My family sells at a farmer's market, so I know that that's how it works. So you are totally right about that, Tiffany, and that might factor into somebody's prices. It might not. But regardless, even if you know that their price is the same at the market versus not at the market, you might be doing them a favor just by making it worth their time to not have to go sit at a market, right? So that more of it goes back into ethical practices and taking good care of their animals and their land and their farm. So, and their family, right? That's what this is all about. This is about meeting and serving families where they're at. So if you like some of that, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. Which one of these seems the most easy to you? If you were going to pick one of them and you were going to try doing that more regularly, whether it's buying in bulk, cutting out the middleman, or shopping the outside aisles in your grocery store, I'm curious to hear which one you plan on adding into your making changes in your life. And if you already do all of these, that's great. I'd love to hear that too. So I hope you have the best afternoon, and I can't wait to hear from you. Bye for now.